Long ago, when the earth was still young and the wind carried whispers of wisdom, Tortoise was not the rough-shelled creature we know today. His shell was smooth and shining like river stone under the sun, and he was proud of it. But beneath his fine shell lived a heart too greedy for its own good. One bright morning, news spread across the forest that the birds were invited to a great feast in the sky. The Sky King himself had prepared it, with food so delicious that the scent could travel on the wind. Only those who could fly were welcome. Tortoise's heart burned with envy. He could not stand the thought of others enjoying such a feast without him. He walked to the birds and bowed politely. "My friends," he said softly, "surely we are all one family in this forest. Would you leave your brother behind to starve?" The birds exchanged uncertain looks. They knew Tortoise's tongue was sharp and his tricks sharper. But his words sounded kind, and his smile was gentle. So, one by one, each bird plucked a feather from its wing and gave it to him. Together, they made Tortoise a pair of wings, bright, colorful, and strong enough to carry him into the sky. When the day came, they rose together from the forest. The air was cool, the sun golden. Tortoise laughed as he flew, his smooth shell glimmering like bronze. He had never felt so powerful. When they reached the sky, the feast was already waiting. Tables filled with roasted yam, ripe fruit, and sweet palm wine stretched as far as the eye could see. The Sky King welcomed them warmly. But Tortoise, always thinking ahead, cleared his throat and said, "In our land, it is tradition to take a new name before a great feast. From now on, call me all of you." The birds laughed, thinking it was just another one of his jokes. But when the Sky King called to his servants and said, "Serve this food to all of you," the servants brought every dish to Tortoise. He smiled wide and ate until his belly was round and heavy. Not a crumb was left. The birds watched in silence, their laughter gone. When the feast ended, Tortoise leaned back proudly and said, "Oh, what a fine meal. Thank you, my friends, for bringing me here." But the birds said nothing. Their wings trembled with anger. Without a word, they plucked back every feather they had lent him. The sky grew quiet as they flew away, leaving Tortoise alone on the cloud. Tortoise looked down. The earth was far, far below. He called after them, begging, "Please, tell my wife, Neka, to spread soft things on the ground, so I will not break when I fall." The birds, still angry, reached the earth and told Neka the opposite. They told her to spread hard things, mortars, pestles, and stones. When Tortoise could hold on no longer, he let go. He fell through the clouds, faster and faster, until the ground rose to meet him. He crashed and shattered into 1,000 pieces. Neko ran to him, crying. She gathered every broken piece of his shell and glued them back together with the sap of the iroko tree. But the shell would never be smooth again. Its surface was cracked and uneven, marked forever by the price of greed. From that day, Tortoise moved slowly, his cracked shell a reminder to all who saw him that pride and greed will always find their way back to the ground. Moral of the story: greed may lift you high, but it will always bring you down. Wisdom walks slowly, but it never falls. If you were one of the birds, would you have helped Tortoise after what he did, or would you have left him to fall? Share your thoughts in the comments.